So my piece is called The Humble Hero. I'm sure everybody in this room has a hero. And the thing about heroes is that they are among us. Every day when you walk down the street, you're passing people who are heroic, and you don't even know it. We probably have some heroic people in our audience tonight. But I want to tell you about my personal hero, my little brother. And what makes a hero is heart. What makes a hero is having fear and doing it anyway. What makes a hero is facing obstacles and never backing down. My little brother had some developmental issues when he was a kid. He had a slight birth defect, not much, just a little. Made it difficult for him to do certain things with his hands. He had a hard time learning how to walk. He had to have special little shoes. He had a hard time learning how to talk. He had to have a little speech therapist. And then when he was 5, he ended up in the hospital with a hernia. Brothers and sisters being what they are, we didn't necessarily get along very well back then. But as my brother grew older, he really turned into such an outstanding human being that I'm so proud to have in my life. So what makes my brother a hero? He drove a UPS truck for about 15 years. That doesn't make him a hero. It makes him a hard-working guy. Those guys bust their tail to bring those packages. My brother did that, and he busted his knee, and after 3 surgeries, he said, I want to cross-train. And while he was resting up from his surgeries, he decided he was going to pursue a dream that he had since he was a kid, to be a freelance photographer and travel writer. My brother was in a 4-wheel drive. Nobody else in my family thought there was much of a market for a guy who didn't really write that great, didn't do very well in English in school, and was going to write about 4-wheel drive. But with the advent of the internet, he made use of opportunities. Eventually he started getting calls for jobs. He was offered the job as an editor of a 4-wheel drive magazine. And eventually his wife said, hey, you're making enough with this stuff. Why don't you just quit this other job that he had gotten, like a real job, after he got out of UPS. He did mortgages for a while. And so now my brother's full-time job is traveling around the world. People call him and say, hey, Chris, could you come down and cover this event in Australia, all expenses paid? Hey, we really need you to come down and cover this thing in Malaysia. Can you do that for us, please? A couple of years ago, he was awarded the Off-Road Hall of Fame award. The first journalist ever to receive that award, which usually goes to racers and people who develop the tech. But the thing that, and my brother recently said to me, it's just so weird. I've got all these Facebook friends, people that I've actually met. They follow me, they follow my adventures, they like and they heart and they go, wow. It is so weird because I was just like this dweeb in high school, I wasn't one of the cool kids. So what really makes my brother a hero is that he's accomplished all these really amazing feats. He's still like the most humble guy you'd ever hope to meet. People meet him, they just fall in love with my brother. He's the kind of guy you'd sit down and have a beer with, have a conversation with. He's the kind of guy who brings wheelchairs, gets a caravan and 4-wheel drive trucks and brings a bunch of wheelchairs down to a bunch of little villages in Mexico where the people have been scooting around on their hands. And another thing that makes my brother a hero is that he's got guts. I experienced something very disturbing over the holidays. My sister-in-law and I were headed out on a girls' date, and we saw a fox, a wild fox. It's the second time I've ever seen one in the wild. We were both so excited. But very, very soon thereafter, almost immediately, I realized there was something wrong. And this fox started to go into convulsions, and we were both hugely upset. I knew it had been poisoned, probably by somebody who put out poison for rats. So what do, right? We're girls. My brother's up the hill. We call him, Chris, there's a poisoned fox down here. And then we kind of started to drive away, but then we're like, no, we really need to go back and make sure we're there for him. We don't know what's going to go down. We come back up the driveway and he's